afternoon's looking. Hi everyone and welcome back. This is Gavin of Balls2u. I'm just going to do a quick facility update. It's a het point male, but there's also something else going on with him. How's it going everyone? It's Gavin of Balls2u. Finding the new facility. Here is going to be predominantly all our grow-up females and our smaller breeding females. 15 snake limit every season. And that's basically it guys. That's the Balls2u HQ, as I call it.
Everything was stone cold. We're talking it was down to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, major panic stations, all the snakes were freezing cold.
How's it going everyone? It's Gavin from Balls2u, and this is going to be the last video ever shoot here in this HQ. And here we are. This is going to be the temporary HQ for now. This is the stage I'm at. I want it to be future proof. I want it to be somewhere where people can come, because this is it. This is the final HQ. It's Gavin from Balls2u, and this is the video that I've been dying to share with you guys, and I know a lot of you have been asking about the new HQ. Well, the wait is over, here it is. So first of all, we are in the reception area or the lobby area or the kitchen area, storage area, whatever you want to call it. This is a very useful area, and the reason why I designed this was simply because I wanted somewhere which could house and do a lot of things. And what I've particularly wanted to do was separate the building in its own little sections. So where we are now at the moment, we are in almost like an area where we can sit, talk, chat snakes. I've got a storage area, a sink area where I can obviously clean snakes, and I've also got the quarantine area. So what we'll do, I'll take you on an in-depth tour of this room before we go into the other rooms, and I'll discuss and talk about why I've done what I've done in this particular room. So let's have a look. So let's start with the Herp Exotic rack. The Herp Exotic rack is in here because I'm using it as a quarantine rack, which is really good to use in a environment where it's not a dedicated reptile room, because the Herp Exotic racks really do hold heat and humidity really well, potentially too well if you've got them in a snake breeding room or in a reptile room, but they really do the job fantastic. This is a customized Herp Exotic. As you can see, we've got the Balls2u logo, which I absolutely love, and again I still stand behind what I say, value for money. If you are starting out in this hobby or are an intermediate or a professional, these racks really do work fantastic. You will have to work out and put your own air holes in or your own vent holes. As you can see, I've done a video on this before, but they really do work fantastic. So moving around, we've got the sink area there, which obviously I can use for washing tubs, filling up water bowls if need be, you know, cleaning snakes down after they've laid, which is fantastic. And again, we've got some storage units underneath. Now, again, this is a snake room, so I've tried to put in this room everything that I can think of which is not kind of snake related or to do with the breeding aspect, but in here it's to do with entertaining, or it's to do with talking, socialization. What's socialization nowadays, hey? Yeah, but anyway, so in here I really wanted it to be a really functionable room. You know, we've got the storage all underneath, we've got a couple of bar stools there, sit down, have a chat. Obviously we've got my own custom fridge, thanks courtesy of my cousin Richard. Absolutely love it. There is some beers in there, trust me, maybe a few missing, but there is some in there. So we've got the coffee machine on top, so we've got the kettle there to obviously boil the hot water, and again we've got some awesome custom made Balls2u mugs. As you can see, the temperature in here at the moment is 68 degrees. Not forgetting the most important thing is a limited edition Kraken bottles, and they are full. I think we may crack them open every time we cut a clutch this season. What do you reckon? Every time we cut a clutch, we open a bottle and we have a little glass to celebrate. Put your comments, put your thoughts in the comment box below, let me know. So yeah, this for me is a real functionable room. Like I said, people can come as and when we're out of this crazy lockdown. We can sit, chat, talk snakes, which is something that I really wanted. So yeah, I am very pleased with this room and how it turned out. Yeah, it's functionable, which is the most important thing. Quarantine rack, important to have separate from your original collection. So there we have it, guys. So let's go on into the next room, which is the breeding room, and we'll look a bit more into that, and we'll talk about the actual breeding room itself and why it's designed that way. So as you enter the breeding room, you'll come in, and directly on your right hand side you'll have the female breeding rack. Now I designed this room, as you can see there's a gap this side and a gap that side. I designed this room so that I could basically fill this wall here with breeding tubs, FB40s and FB70s in the LP rack system, which I kind of have shot some footage, and I'm going to do a separate video on the LP racks and my thoughts. I've also allowed some space at the top as well, so if I wanted to go one more level higher, then I could. As you can see, we've got a large fan blowing the air around the room, and there's going to be another fan over here, ground level, somewhere around about there, blowing it round this way. As you come into the room, like I said, we've got a couple of utilities up on the wall, and again we've got a bit of a sort of a desk, if you like, a prep bench, desk, whatever you want to call it. Obviously we've got our rep chip at the bottom there. Again, we've got the FB10 LP rack here. It's 84 tubs. I'm just waiting for some plugs to turn up for the next 5 levels, so I can then fully get the snakes in there and sorted out. At the moment as well, I'm doing a new labeling system, so new building, new racks, new labels. Moving around the room, we have our ultrasound station. I don't know why I struggled to say that, but yeah, we've got our ultrasound station with our ultrasound machine on, and again it's on a trolley, so I can wheel it round, bring it over to the females, and I can do my ultrasounding, which is great. It's not on top of a rack, it's got its own place. We've got our ready-made box up, a rep chip ready to go. And another important feature was to have a water supply in the room, and the reason for that is because the hose pipe, I can just pull it out and fill up the waters. That makes it so much easier. It's fantastic. It really does make a massive difference having your, a water supply in your building. Really does. We've got ourselves a temperature clock, and it's got the date and room temperature, which is fantastic, courtesy of Sapphire Royals. Thanks for that, Mark. Moving around, we've got our whiteboard with the males on, so when I'm looking at the females, I can look to my left and I can see what males I have available, and then I can also put them down on the actual tub and mark them up. Now this season I'm doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I've got yellow tape on the tubs, and the reason for that was because I didn't want to write directly onto the tub. So I thought, right, I've seen Justin use tape, and I thought, you know what, we'll give it a try. So I'm able to write down and jot down the data from various animals. So like, for example, we have ourselves an Enchi yellow belly calico female. She's been bred to a blackhead het hypo. She was bred on the 25th of the 10th, one lock. Her follicles on the 28th of the 11th were 17.5. On the 15th of the 12th, I checked her again and she was at 27.5. So she grew roughly 10 millimeters within a month. So again, I can write down the information, which is fantastic. There's still loads of information I've got to write down on there, like the cycle of the female, etc, etc. But I'm trying something different, like I said, and I thought I'd share that with you. And again, I'll go into a video, but this is purely a video on the actual HQ itself. So the breeding room is pretty decent size. I don't think I'll outgrow this for plenty of years to come. And if I get that big, which I don't want to get that big because I believe it's quality over quantity, then I'll be moving. In fact, and again, you can see this room here has got plenty of space for growth either side as well. And again, I can put more levels on top of the FB10 rack. And again, the whole building is purposely designed for breeding snakes. It's not been converted from a garage or a shed that's been converted. Literally, this building has been built from the ground up in mind of breeding snakes and how I wanted it, temperatures, etc, and how the layout I wanted it. So it's been purpose built for breeding snakes. So this is why I can truly say this is a true facility for me, for the sole purpose of breeding snakes, which I absolutely enjoy, and it's a fantastic hobby. So let's get into the hatchling room and let's go and have a look in there. So here we are in the hatchling room. I've just turned the fan off. As you can see, we've got an incubator one. That's already got a clutch of eggs in there. Great old faithful incubators. Absolutely love them. As I said in one of my other videos, I could have done a walk-in incubator, but for me, I'd rather not risk all my year's production in an incubator just in case it goes down. And the thing I get asked, or people ask, is why do we build incubators out of old drink coolers? And the simple fact is they hold their temperatures so well. They're very easy to convert and they really do a fantastic job. I wouldn't be putting my baby eggs in one of these if it didn't work. Obviously we've got the second one over there, incubator number 2. I've got a feeling I'm going to need it this year, more so than when I needed it the season just gone. Again, I've designed this room to house plenty of hatchling racks, which I haven't got at the moment because, again, don't really need them at the moment, but I'll go into that in another video. Storage area and workbench again. We've got ourselves a fan up the top there, which is helping circulating the air around. We've got an extractor fan which pulls the warm air out of the breeding room into the hatchling room. So basically, the breeding room helps warm up the hatchling room. I don't know if you guys remember, but I basically sort of hand built an emergency hatchling rack out of melamine, and I can't get away from building my own racks. I really do enjoy making my own racks. It is what it is, but I also love the professional racks as well, which are being made. So this is an LP V18 rack. As you can see, we've got a few babies in there. I'm due to move some over. And again, with this rack as well, this will also hold V18s as well as V35Ss, and also, as you can see, V15s, or in these cases, these are FB5s. So the FB5 tub is new to me, but I absolutely love it. We've got the air holes, we've got the water cup holder, and the snakes as hatchlings really do love the Vision version of this, which is just the V15, which is here. They really do fantastic in there, straight out the egg. And the FB5 was a phenomenal upgrade, if you like, so it sort of made no sense. So obviously I will be upgrading all the FB15s, sorry, I will be upgrading all the V15s to the FB5s. So I'm a bit confused, get confused with all these names of the tubs. So this is the hatchling room in a nutshell. Again, it's just important that everything is in here to do with the hatchlings. Once they hatch out of the eggs, they'll go into like a V V18 tub, which will then either go in this rack or that rack. I haven't quite decided, however it'll be. And then they'll go into their own individual tubs, which are what the FB5s are for. Again, still plenty of things to do, plenty of things to add and change. Well, not necessarily change, but to incorporate, let's say. But I love it. This is my own little heaven, if you like, my own little getaway, my own little, I love it. There's nothing more I can say. I really do love it. And I want to thank you all for coming along with me on this journey. It really does mean the world to me. So there we have it, guys. The new and final HQ. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm about 98% done. There's little bits and pieces over the years you'll see me add or do and change, but I'm absolutely over the moon with it. The way it's set out, it really is proving to be so much easier to work in this fantastic hobby. I want to give a massive shout out to my cousin Richard. He helped build pretty much most of this, what you see. We've slaved on this day and night, so without Richard's help, I don't think I would have got to where I am now regarding the building it and getting it done in time for Christmas. It certainly took a lot longer than what I anticipated, simply because of lockdown and having all the materials, etc, etc. So it was a real labour of love, but it's here. Blood, sweat and tears has definitely gone into this building from me and Richard. I can guarantee you that. Massive shout out to all my family, everyone who supported me and put up with me through this. I really do love and appreciate you all. And also everyone that supported me on the channel, on Instagram and on Patreon. Without your support, guys, without you buying those snakes from me, I wouldn't be where I am now. That's fact. I don't want to get this, I haven't invested my own money or had a big loan or a massive cash injection from another business. This has all been from my blood, sweat and tears. It's all been put into this, and this is, again, all my hard work. And it just goes to show, guys, it does pay off. If you work hard, you grind hard, it will certainly pay off, okay? But I want to thank you all for your support. Really do appreciate it. So for now, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and an even better New Year. Hopefully 2021 we can start to travel again, and I'll be able to get out to the shows and meet you all and go over to the States, Canada, Europe, etc. But for now, I hope you're all well. Please have a safe and enjoyable Christmas. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
I hit record a job, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming.